kind of stuck in our ways a little bit.
100%.
It's tough. I just got Venmo for the first time the other day, and I am still in awe about it. Like, it works, and I'm not fully in trust of Venmo yet.
I'm not at all.
But it worked.
Yeah.
And I don't know where my money's at because it's somewhere in Venmo world.
It's on the line.
It's on the line. Yep.
And
on the
that
line.
is scary.
Instantaneously.
Like,
It's instantaneously on the line.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't like that because that doesn't seem real. Well, guys, here we are, episode 2 of The Real Talk with Fish Addictions TV. And we got 2 staffers this time. Like we told you guys in the last episode, we're going to have guests in and out, whether they're on Zoom, whether they're in studio. But these are 2 guys that are going to be traveling with us all year long, so why not have them here? We're going to be swapping spit all year, and I know you're laughing about that, but isn't that what it is? COVID goes from the spit.
Yeah, it does.
That's what I meant. Jim and I have only kissed several times.
Yeah, but it was never with tongue. We didn't. I mean, it was smooches.
You know, Thor used to be a part of the staff. We had to get rid of him because you and him shared rooms everywhere we went.
Yeah, no. I had to ask you to kick him off because I was tired of listening to him talk. His story time.
But now he's back.
Thanks for giving me the clickbait right off the bat. So,
All right, guys, this is
That's
Real
gonna come
Talk with
back.
Fish Addictions, and here we are today, guys. We're just talking about topics that we want to talk about, and if you guys hear something or want to hear about something, let us know. We'd be glad to talk about it. But I want to start off with ice fishing. We'll call it officially kicked off. Red Lake sounds like there's guys up there. There's guys fishing in the Devil's Lake basins and sloughs in between. I know the guy to my left here has already been on the ice. He rubbed it in a little bit yesterday on social media. But let's hear about it. I want to hear what you guys think in the year 2020, because this is always going to be 2020. And we don't have to explain ourselves.
No.
2020 is just 2020.
It's a mess.
I'd love to hear what you guys think is going to happen to the ice fishing industry, because we all know that hunting and open water boat fishing, shore fishing, river fishing, whatever you do, exploded this year. I've heard up to 200% increase in fishermen in the Minnesota, North Dakota area as far as licenses. I've heard that. Don't quote me on that. I've just heard those numbers, whether they're wrong or not. It is growing substantially. So I'd love to just hear what you guys think is going to happen to ice fishing.
Yeah, I'll let Taylor go. You go. You've already been out. Thanks for the invite, by the way.
You know I invite you. Sometimes you just can't make it. Obligations.
Work like an adult.
Yeah. But the license sales, just to kind of trickle off that a little bit, I think that's, fishing is social distancing at its finest, and it's been going on for how long, how many years. And that's, obviously that's the big reason why, is there's a lot more people fishing, and it's, like you said, I went out the other day, and I just, I scratched the itch just a little bit. I didn't put a whole lot of effort into it, kind of right away, early ice season. I'm not really looking to, go big and go out somewhere and walk a long distance, checking small stuff, little small sloughs. Devil's Lake Basin, like you said, that's always one to check out first, but that was kind of just in a little pothole, and it's been known to have some panfish on it, and I figured I'd give that a try. And there was consistent about 4 inches throughout. We had that little cold spell, which was, we were in the teens every night, and ice formed pretty well, and it stayed that consistent, like 30, low 30s. So the ice was fairly good, I'd say.
I think it's just really weird because right now we're used to being at trade shows. Every weekend we're trade showing it up somewhere. This coming weekend would have been our week off, and then there was 2 more weeks after that with St. Paul and the Fargo show. South Dakota did have their show. Great for them. They were able to pull it off. But it's kind of one of those times where we never really forced ourselves out there at this time because we always knew we had to leave. We had something going on, whether we were at an in-store event or a show, which we all look forward to. I love going to those shows and in the interaction we get with everybody that pays attention to what us doofuses are doing every year. And it's fun to just talk to them and see what they think. But it's been a weird year. It's 2020, and we're not doing trade shows. There's some online stuff. Patrick Olson, who is a great friend of all of us, him and Doug Glimmerveen over at the SmackDown Outdoor Podcast, they are doing a virtual trade show, which is really cool. And I think it's the dates of the actual St. Paul Ice Show. So they're going to have, I think, 3 days of virtual ice shows with the companies. Because whether we like it or not, you know, like your big companies, Eskimo, Clam, all those guys, they're going to be okay. You know, they've got online, they've got a presence. Everybody knows who they are. But your little guys that rely on these trade shows are the ones that we as fishermen need to band together and support a little bit. I know myself, I've been on and ordered a few things for an upcoming project that we'll be doing through the year, which we'll release here in a little bit. Actually, we said we were maybe going to talk about what we're doing for Fish Addictions. But, you know, guys that have hard house accessories, guys that have electronic accessories, custom rod builders that maybe aren't in the big box stores, custom tackle builders. These trade shows are what make or break their season, and I hope that us fishermen band together and support these people because they make awesome product, and it's up to us to make sure that they're still around next year for the trade shows for us to enjoy.
Yeah, most of the stuff I end up buying at trade shows are from those kind of guys because it's the stuff that you don't necessarily see in the stores, or you know, they're not necessarily one of our sponsors or whatever. And we can carte blanche with a lot of them, but with these younger or these other companies, these smaller little guys, they put out some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's always fun.
It's
just
neat. You can haggle with them.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Everybody goes there. Everybody goes there with $200 in their pocket, and they want to walk out with $2,000.
Sale.
And it's usually Sunday at noon
It is
when
Sunday
it's
at
all buy 10 for $20.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yep, buying all of them.
Yeah, give me 15 for $20. Fine.
Yeah. I would be interested to hear like what the percentage is that those guys, you know, make.
What their margins are. Yeah.
Right, at that, like throughout the year, the season, I guess, how much
part
money
of their
they
sales is
Right.
from the shows.
is
It's
contributing.
got to be close to 90%.
I would say some of those
Yeah.
guys is, yeah.
That's why,
Especially those smaller bait companies.
Yeah.
Tackle companies.
yeah, you make a
Absolutely.
good point. They're gonna need some help this year, I'd say for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
and those shows are expensive to get into, so they're not doing it if it's not a big sale point
Right.
for them.
Yeah, I mean they're
Yeah.
enough, especially if you're selling tackle. It's,
Right.
You guys sell a lot of tackle
Yeah,
to make ends meet at those shows, but it's still a lifeline that these guys have. You know, my worry is because it takes the guys like Eskimo and all those guys to support those shows to make the shows go on. At what point do those guys look at it and maybe they say, well, is it worth going to these shows anymore after the year they've had this year? I hope that's not the case. I don't think it's going to end up being the case, but it's a real reality that we have to think about.
Well, ICAST got canceled early this year, and they've already come out and said we'll absolutely be doing this again because everybody that was planning on being at ICAST, you know, they did a big digital
Which was
show.
a giant flop, by the way.
Right. But it's a hard transition because a lot of the reason that these companies like going to the shows is because they like interacting with everybody else in the industry.
Yeah, but have you ever been to ICAST? ICAST is a different feel. ICAST is more of not a consumer show. It's more
Right.
of a trade show. So they're coming. That's where these stores are picking up their products, seeing the new product.
Right.
Obviously, we get glimpses as consumers, but it's a totally different show. But I would say that the St. Paul Ice Show is the ICAST of ice fishing.
Right. Yeah, and my only reference to ICAST is really what I was reading about people reacting to it being canceled and stuff like that. But a lot of them, you know, they really missed the camaraderie that comes with fishing. You know, these trade shows, realistically they become giant bait shops
Absolutely.
where you sit around with all your good buddies and you swap stories for a few days. And
I mean, I don't see a lot of the guys that I know all summer long that we deal with on ice fishing. And you go to ICAST and you're walking around, and there's a good portion of them from the upper Midwest that are down there in Florida where it's held now. It's pretty much like being home and seeing your buddies in the fishing industry, and it's
Right.
all the shows that you go to are kind of like that, and that's definitely something we've missed as an industry for sure.
And not only, you know, the consumer interaction too, but like the other staff interaction too, seeing the other guys from the other staffs and the other companies too, talking to them, because when it's go show season, you don't really have the time to talk to those guys either, so it's fun to do that and all get together.
Speaking of that, isn't it funny like how some people think like, you know, we're on the Eskimo staff and other guys that are on the Clam or Otter staff, they think we all hate each other, but really we're drinking beer and having fun after each one of those shows together because it's pretty cool to get together. We're all pretty like-minded in this whole thing, and we all just have fishing on the brain, and not saying that none of that goes on, but the 99% of everybody out there is just really just wants to go fishing and have fun, and the camaraderie part of it.
There's posturing that takes place, but it's the same posturing that takes place between any group of friends.
Oh yeah.
You know, no matter what, if I catch a fish bigger than Jim, I'm gonna rub his nose in it. No matter what, you know, just like he would to me. And it's the same thing when you look at the different staffs, because I think the people that put in the effort to get on the teams, for the most part, they realize that the most important part of growing the sport, or, you know, being in the sport, is the growing aspect, getting other people involved. And if Eskimo's winning, means Clam's winning too.
Absolutely.
You know, Otter's also going to win. As long as people are buying ice fishing stuff, everybody wins.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that when there is that certain amount of competition between stuff, the only person that really wins is the consumer.
Right.
Because we get better product out of it.
Yep.
Or better price points.
Both.
Yeah.
Right. Both. Yeah.
Ideally, I mean, there's only so much with the new technology. It has to come out at a certain price point, and it's going to stay there for a while. But
yeah, but still, as consumers, we're winning. I mean, do you think about ice fishing? I mean, I lose sleep about this stuff sometimes. I don't know why I let it bother me so bad, but you think about when Fish Addiction started. 8 years ago now when it first started. We're in season 6, but really season 7. What we were using and what we were doing only 6 or 7 years ago.
Right.
Kind of seems like caveman talk now.
I know.
When you think about it. I mean, it's like, you think about some of the things you did, and you're like,
right.
Oh.
You know, the Vexlar FL28 is still a great unit, but when we started, it was the premier unit.
It wasn't even
it wasn't even the 28 yet.
No. And like you're looking at ion augers,
right.
Wasn't even a thing yet when we first started.
Right.
Electric augers were
infancy.
Hook it up to your car battery. The Strike Masters ones were like 2 hook up to your car batteries. Jiffy came out with some attempt at it, but went away really fast.
Right.
I mean,
what was that? There was one that in the very beginning, like before I got on board, like the year before I came on, it might have been like you and Josh were still trying to figure things out. The Ice Gator. And that thing damn near started on fire. Josh and I brought it out, and at the time I had a Pro 4, and that was Gen 1 too as well. And we need to bring this out. No, it's extra weight. We'll just use this thing. A hole and a half, the damn thing started on fire. We had to walk back to my vehicle to get that Pro 4 to come back out, and then to have that thing freeze up because it was so flipping cold. It was just
that might be the biggest evolving product, I think, from when I really started getting into it. Would probably be the auger.
Yeah.
I mean,
electronics.
Live scope?
Yeah, live scope.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you can't really use the live scope if you don't have a hole to fish out of either. Right, so
yeah, I suppose you can't see the jersey you're wearing.
I mean, yeah. So
he's wearing it because it's comfortable, Jim.
So
it's comfortable.
It is very comfortable.
So what do you think the peak is?
I've thought about that.
When doesn't it get better?
I mean, innovating is always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
At some point we're going to peak, though.
I mean, I used to think the Motorola Razr, there was nowhere
right.
to go above that on the cell phone.
Right. I did too.
That's
even after putting 3 of them in the lake in like a month and a half. I went right back to it. Like, this is the best thing. I don't care. I threw it in the water. Whatever.
I think the better
awesome.
question is, because we're never going to stop innovating,
right.
At what point do we not allow it? At what point does the Game and Fish not allow it?
Right.
Because people are already contemplating that with live scope.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and trust me, I love it. It is so much fun. I am not a video game guy, but I can only say that it's like playing a video game every single time you come out. It's like hunting.
Right.
And not saying that with a flasher isn't, but you put that thing down and there's no guesswork. I mean,
it's night vision in the dark. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's night vision.
That's crazy.
I was absolutely in shock yesterday. We caught perch in every single hole we drilled, in those ones you love to catch that are about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long, the ones you just absolutely can't get away from. I searched in every hole, probably the 60, 70 holes that we drilled. I got to the point where I said, I'm done catching perch. I'm here to catch bluegills. And I turned it into, what does a bluegill do? Okay, bluegills are suspended. They're typically not laying on the bottom like a perch is. So I just scanned around until I found something that looked like bluegills that were suspended. Sure enough, find that hole. It was hard to put into words how incredible it was just to see the difference in the size of what that fish looked like compared to a perch.
Yeah.
I could tell. I didn't even have to waste the time in these other holes anymore. I was fishing fish that I wanted to fish for. It took all of the time. It's
so crazy because you can tell if it's it's a little bit tougher to tell between a crappie and a bluegill, but if it's a walleye or a pike or something or a sturgeon,
just the identification is incredible.
Right there. I mean, it's that detailed where there is really not a lot of guesswork in that stuff anymore. And but that's what's crazy is like I think back to the FL8, FL12, FL18 days, FL20s, which is when Fish Addictions first started, to now you have the 28 and the 30 on that end. You have the Garmin Panoptics followed by the LiveScope. When Panoptics came out, we never thought LiveScope would come out.
Right. Now
LiveScope comes out. Now they've got perspective view. I mean, it's not going to end. And as a fisherman, I hope it doesn't end.
Right.
But as a fisherman, I'm scared as well. And granted, everybody's not using it. But everybody would like to see it and touch it and feel it and use it. And it is absolutely amazing. But where does it end? I think that's a great question. Does it end? No, I think they're innovating all the time. They're going to come up with something that we haven't even thought of because they probably already have.
Right.
There's the truth to it.
Right.
They probably already have the next step. It's just we're not ready for it.
Yeah.
There gets to be a point, too, where the patents run out on the technology and other companies get to start gravy training off that, and that'll start bringing price points down on certain things. But I think the price points on some of your better standard flashers are still high enough to people are still trying to buy used or a step or two down from the 28s or 30s or the whatever Markham has out there.
But the one thing I will say is the Panoptics LiveScope hasn't made the flasher obsolete.
No, not at all.
There's still, that's why they offer the flasher mode on the Garmin's, because I still like it. Everybody still goes back to that once in a while.
I bought a deucer strictly for it.
Yeah.
I'm a traditionalist in that way that even last year when I had the Panoptics, I didn't use it that often. I was still more, I'd use it, search, we'd find an area, find fish, deucer went down the hole. And I went back to my traditional sonar, and I just prefer that. And for me, the LiveScope will step that up even further because weed edges and stuff are going to be more defined. Trees are going to be more defined when you're out on stump or devils or whatever. To where we got to find where the fish are, and that LiveScope's coming out of the hole, and that deucer's going down. That's just how I'm going to be. I'm just a little stubborn in that.
Hey, we're old, and we're kind of stuck in our ways a little bit. And
100%.
It's tough. I just got Venmo for the first time the other day, and I am still in awe about it. Like, it works, and I'm not fully in trust of Venmo yet.
I'm not at all.
But it worked.
Yeah.
And I don't know where my money's at because it's somewhere in Venmo world.
It's on the line.
It's on the line. Yep.
It's on the line.
Instantaneously.
Like,
it's instantaneously on the line.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't like that because that doesn't seem real.
I struggle with PayPal.
I've never used PayPal.
I've
stayed away from it.
I had a guy tell me he could send it to me without me getting a fee. I'm like, how? I've never had to pay anybody. How do you do that? Well, I'll just do this and this and this. Well, okay. Do you have Venmo? No. Well, I just had a kid explain it to me that I work with. He's like 22. He really knows what it's all about. You want to try that? No. Yeah, I don't either, but I just thought I'd offer it. No chance I ever download Venmo.
I was told I needed to download it, and I had an anxiety attack because I didn't know what it was or why. How do I write a check from Venmo or swipe a credit card? That's not right.
It's so easy though.
It's so easy.
Like, it's so easy.
See, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid it's too easy.
No,
you can set it so you can tap your phone and pay from Venmo at stores.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you do it?
Why would you do that?
No.
I
just do it on like personal.
I just picture Thor getting delivery pizza and being like,
well, no.
Venmo me.
Yep. No, because if you're getting delivery pizza, you put your credit card in online.
What if you get really tight with the delivery guy? because it's been one too many times this
By the
week
way, if
that he
anybody
shows
wants
up
to
your
get
house.
Thor a Christmas present, get him pots and pans. The kid hasn't cooked at his own house for like 3.5 years.
I cook. Not often, but
Just
I
not
cook.
just not lunch.
Thor's mom, help.
So my Thanksgiving got canceled, and that is what I'm missing out on, because my mother called me a week ago and said she told me that she went out and bought a surplus of 9x12 pans.
Ooh.
So that she could make me food to bring home.
See, I really think what should happen is she should still make Thor food, set it outside. You could just leave a note for mom and dad, grab the pans, and away you go back home. Because I've already heard what your plans are for the next few days, and getting in a car and driving is probably just as productive. Or more productive.
I think I'm going to
video game stuff.
He's going to play video games for like 3
Tomorrow.
days straight.
Tomorrow I'm going to play video games tomorrow.
And
Friday.
then...
No, because I have to deal
I
with...
have never have any of you two ever planned your day? Like, tomorrow I'm playing video games all day.
Okay, well, my buddy has been asking me for the last week.
Maybe back in the college days, I don't know.
Yeah, but you said like, hey, I can't do nothing tomorrow because I'm playing video games all day.
I didn't say that I couldn't do anything because I was playing video games.
You just said that's what you were doing. And
Yeah,
you're
that's
very firm on your response.
That's my current plan.
Whatever.
And then...
How old are you?
27. Yeah. And then Friday I'm going to have to edit all this. Mm-hmm. So I got to do all this while you guys are deer hunting.
I'm not going to be deer hunting on Friday.
Well, either way, you know what I mean.
Saturday it opens, right?
Saturday opens, yeah.
And then I think Saturday I'm going to get out on the ice for the first time in 2 years and go ice fishing with Chris.
So I was told Friday.
I was told
they're
both.
coming up
They're
Friday,
both.
but they're going to fish Friday, Saturday. And
They're going to get up there late Friday.
I don't really know what the plan is. I was told that there would be fishing on Friday and Saturday, and I just figured I'd join them on Saturday.
Friday late.
Anthony
called me,
yeah. I'll be honest, guys. I'm pretty lazy about ice fishing. I figured I'd give them a chance to go find the fish.
Oh, we've seen that.
Thor, we know.
when
we go ice fishing with you, if there is not 12 inches of snow, you find the closest 12 inches of snow, lay yourself down with your rod, and just...
Suntan.
Hey.
Listen, I think you found your niche in the ice fishing industry right now.
Beds for ice fishing?
Ooh.
No.
Hammocks.
Ooh, an on the ice hammock.
Ice hammocks. You sway in the North Dakota wind and that jigs.
You'd be so cold.
Oh yeah, that would be miserable.
That would be miserable.
You'd have to put up some sort of wind block or something.
Almost like an Eskimo.
What if you get caught with a wind block?
Hey,
you've seen that Canadian company that has that they make like that
snowmobile.
The snowmobile
windshield.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you fish off one side of your snowmobile and you just pull the thing over the top of you, and it's made specifically for the snowmobile that you have. It's pretty obnoxious. But
how many times do you think I have to mention in this podcast that Eskimo should build a tent that I can hang a hammock in? Build a house that I can support a hammock in?
Do you want me to get into that? Because these two know a backstory to all that, and I love Eskimo ice fishing gear. They build a great product.
They do.
I know. Is there one I can hang?
That would take a lot of support.
Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean,
how about
have to bring a couple bags of cement and a couple posts.
On a real cold day, though, you could just drill a couple extra holes and let them freeze up.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
You just have to have some sort of galvanized. I don't know. We're going down the rabbit hole here.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. Anyways, Thor does not put a lot of effort into his ice fishing. He enjoys more of the camaraderie, which is just fine.
Hey. It's the same in the boat. I came to that conclusion this summer.
See, I always pictured you as a diehard bass guy that just like
I
literally...
do. I love catching bass, but I also just really like being out in the boat.
Yeah.
Taylor and I fish tournaments together, and I've had tournament partners who get really upset if they're not the one catching the fish that are going in the live well, and I don't care which one of us is putting the fish in the box. We're gonna split a check at the end of the day. Big fish are fun for everybody. It's more fun if it's yours, but
big fish are fun.
Right.
It's not like you're not trying.
Right. But I did lay down with the dog out on Mille Lacs this summer and took about a 45-minute nap after fishing for 3 days.
During the tournament?
No, I was just out fishing for fun. I drifted a long ways.
Yeah, I saw how your dog treats your boat.
Yeah.
You can do that a long ways on Mille Lacs.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
I was woken up by some musky fishermen.
Even on a windy day.
Would they come up to you and be like, "Hey, guy, are you all right?"
Well, no, I was just kind of drifting past them, and they were like, you could hear them talking, and you hear those big musky baits hit the water pretty hard. And I woke up, and you guys catching anything? No. You seen anything? No. Well, I think I might have seen one on that end of the island. Could have been a giant carp. Wasn't that close, but they're like, oh, we'll go take a look over there. We've seen them over there in the past. I'm like, all right, you guys have fun. I'm going to go back to my nap.
Did you go back to sleep?
Hell yeah.
200 miles an hour later because they got the 500 Verado on the back of their boat.
They probably thought it was just a floating javelin across the lake. They didn't think anybody was in it. Look, there's no guy in that boat.
You know,
But there's a dog.
I'd slept for about 8 hours in those 3 days, and you know, just nice and sunny. The wind had laid down, and just took a little snooze.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie and say that I haven't napped on a boat once, maybe twice. But I'm older than everybody.
Hold
So.
on. Jim, you can nap by just thinking about napping.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
We go on a road trip, and it's like, hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't sleep in the front seat, because people that travel with me get lighters in their nose in their front seat.
Yeah. It could be me, you, and your 6-year-old son. He's riding up front. I ain't getting started on fire.
Disclaimer,
I'm sleeping in the
no
back seat.
6-year-olds riding in the front seat of my pickup. I do not want raging mother being like, you cannot have your 6-year-old in front. No, my wife would kill me.
Your wife would kill you.
So,
But that one year
love
we did,
you, honey.
Yeah, but we did go up there, and Jakey was up at 3, and he stayed up the entire time in the back seat in his little booster.
Oh, yeah.
I fell asleep probably twice on the way, but guaranteed once the whole way home.
He's only about 3 years away from teaching me things.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
He's smarter than he should be.
That's all he does is YouTube, watch fishing. Yeah. He loves Aaron Weeb, and I love the guy too. But Aaron, my God, the things you teach my children. It's not bad. It's just like, where did you get that? Have you ever seen uncut angling?
Has he tied a fly out of any of your gear yet?
No, but he just got done talking about when he used the fidget spinner and that kind of stuff. And that was like 3 days of nonstop talking about catching fish on the fidget spinner, which is awesome. And it's cool that he loves all that stuff. And
is he aware of the weeb worm?
I don't think so.
Oh,
because that is
called?
The weeb worm. You can now get that as a custom muskie bait. I can't remember who makes it, but Jay Siemens went out to catch muskies on the weeb worm, which are in honor of the tapeworm that Aaron had.
Yeah, but he spelt the word out of it.
Oh yeah, he wrote Shamu.
Shamu, that's what it was.
Yeah,
he should have called it the Shamu worm, not the weeb worm.
Well, yeah, but this is so that when they sell it commercially, people are purchasing the weeb worm. So it's got his name just right on it.
Yeah, that was wild.
Disturbing. But that's why everybody loves him, because he is willing to do anything and everything tastefully. But the thing about the guy is like, he's a genius.
Yeah.
The guy can keep everybody engaged and do the craziest stuff, and there's not one person surprised at what he does anymore. He's a genius.
Yeah.
I love watching his videos.
Yeah, now it's just, he did it again. He did it again. Here's another video. And you're like, okay, what's he up to now? And your mind is still blown every time you watch it.
Oh, yeah.
No, he didn't. No, he did.
Yeah.
Silly Canadians.
We're not far from him.
I know we're not.
We're a lifetime away now, though, with the border closed.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so our adventures are going to have to go east and west now.
Yeah.
A lot more east and west.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, we love going up to Canada and fishing. But we've got something, I think that's a good segue in to start what we're actually going to be doing. You know, we got 2 of the Fish Addiction staffers here. And
before we do that,
yeah,
I'm rookie at the old camera stuff, and we didn't sync this one.
Ooh,
all right.
It blinked.
Sinking it.
Now we can segue in.
Did we sync that one?
That one will pick up Mike anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyways, so Fish Addictions, you know, I'm very notorious for not planning anything, and I know it gets under everybody's skin, especially the people that watch, because they're always like, what are you doing this year? So I'm going to let out what we're doing this year, but not where we're going, because we have no clue. I have no clue where we're going to be filming in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Where we're going to be. But the first thing we're going to be is, well, we'll keep that part of it silent for right now until we figure it out 100%. But we're going to be traveling in a big bite ice house, 24-foot ice house. And this is really the first time you guys have kind of heard this. So I'm interested to hear your guys' feelings about it. And I'm interested to hear all your guys' feelings about it as well out there that are listening. So we will be living out of a big bite fish house, 24-foot fish house. as a staff and as a crew. With the COVID era, it makes sense. So if we're throwing away the enclosed trailers, no, we're not throwing them away. They're going to be parked on the side. Taylor's actually going to pull it around everywhere he goes. I think we're trying to convince him to do that. But as a staff, we're going to be basically living out of a permanent ice house for all of our episodes this year, as soon as we can get it. Obviously, with COVID, everything happening, the ice house is in progress, and we will give updates as it's coming. As if we get pictures, you guys will see it. All I know as of right now, it's going to be a 24-foot dual axle, and it's going to have a big ramp door on the back, and it's going to sleep 5 to 6 people, and it's going to have a toilet in it, which is a necessity if we're going to live in it. So, yep. But Big Bite, if you guys don't know that company, check them out. They're out of Greenbush, Minnesota, and they've been around a little while, slowly making their way into the scene, but really well built, really well put together, and Troy and his guys over there do a really good job. So we're excited to travel all over. If there's ice, we might be there. But with the COVID thing, and we always stay at hotels and resorts and go eat out a lot and that kind of stuff.
This allow us to quarantine a little bit within the staff.
We'll kind of keep ourselves isolated between each other and still get the same feel that we've had for 7 years or 6 years. And I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. We're going to be pulling that thing a lot. I don't even want to tell people how many miles a year we put on, but we're going to be using that dang thing. All I know is I get one bed, and you guys can call your other beds. I don't really care, but I got one, and that's going to be it. But what do you guys think of that? Like, we're literally cutting out hotels. We're going to cut out restaurants as much as possible. Obviously, gas station food is still going to be a thing.
Gas station food's awesome, though.
We got to have it.
You can't be fat and not eat gas station food. It's just... This is part of the deal.
You can barely be skinny and not eat gas station.
No, true story.
Yeah, and if you're thinking, well, geez, guys, you're going to film episodes out of a Big Bite all the time. No. We're not going to be fishing out of the Big Bite all the time. There's going to be certain scenarios where we will fish out of that ice house. Obviously, there's going to be bad weather days where we can film vlogs, do stuff. We're going to be fishing out of that house a ton.
Tips and tricks.
We're going to be doing a lot of stuff out of it, but we're going to be using it as our base camp. Like, if we're going to a lake, we'll set it down in the ice, right on the access, or heck, maybe we even hit a Walmart parking lot or something. I mean, but
$1 a night.
You have to go in and pay for that?
I know that they used to. I believe that they charge $1 a night just to make sure that they know who's all out there and stuff like that.
Interesting. You need to look that up. But that's what we're going to be doing. It's going to be our base camp. We're going to travel in it. If it takes 2 days to get there, we'll just stop and stay in the dang ice house and plug it in and generators and propane and all, and it's going to be an adventure. I've never done this consistent in something like this, but you guys know how I am. I like to kind of change things up and do things differently throughout each season somehow, some way, and this is how we're going to do it. Like, there is going to be a ton of close time this year. Taylor's over here like, oh Lord.
I just got the ideas rolling in my brain right now. I feel like it's going to be a kind of like a Keeping a Dances with Wolves journal where I'm writing in the journal while we're in the ice house going, it's day 25 and I haven't yet to see a man or any signs of life. I feel like it's...
Other than the people that are with you.
It's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There might come some challenges with it, with the cluttering of things, maybe. A lot of stuff. Because as ice fishermen, we have about 45 things that we don't need that we bring along on trips. Sometimes we don't bring the things we need, but a little bit of the cluttering might be an issue, but I think sounds like it's a pretty big house, and we might be able to bring a lot of the stuff we do need.
I mean, we'll bring it, and we'll have fun doing it, but like I envision like the guys that aren't on the trip before, like coming, and the other guys leaving, and or maybe everybody's in there and we just take off from here. I mean, the thing about it is we don't know where we're going. I don't even know where we're filming in 2 weeks. So it will be interesting. And that's the crazy thing.
Yeah. I know that I'm super guilty of the clutter, of the bringing a lot of stuff that might be unnecessary. I'm the two boots guy.
That's why I bought a long box pickup.
Yeah, you did. That's where a lot of that stuff can
A
go.
lot of stuff in there.
Because the first thing I thought of was food, and I'm like, oh, we can bring a grill, we can bring one of them Blackstones, we can do all kinds of different stuff on that. We can cook burgers one night, we can do smash burgers the next night on the Blackstone. We can bring all this other garbage, and I mean, so I'm a descendant of somebody.
So what I'm getting out of this is when Jim is there, he's camp cook.
I'll be camp cook.
You might have to fight Anthony for that title.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm not fighting Anthony.
If Anthony's there, he's camp cook.
Yeah, I'm not fighting Anthony for camp cook. That's his,
you don't even
that's
have
his
to.
deal.
The problem is if you're going to fight Anthony, you have to fight everybody else on the trip because he can just
He can cook. Yeah.
And he's got cans of everything, canned pickles and fish, and
Yeah.
he's got jerky and.
I mean, I saved the back straps off of my deer just to make sure Anthony cooks us that at least several times this year because he does it for us. Yeah, he does it for us
every time.
really great, like twice a year. But then, like, you get to that third point, it's like, hey guys, this is the third time we've done this, and I don't have much spine meat left.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the thing of it
Anthony, I have back straps for this winter.
Well, he cuts it. It's almost see through how thin he cuts it. It takes just a split second to cook. It's amazing.
Yeah, it just takes a sear.
Yeah, it's literally like a 30-second sear and it's done. And then you just throw out some pickles and crackers and away you go. And it's good.
We should have nicknamed him a long time ago for his cooking abilities.
Should we start calling him Cookie?
Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay.
No,
I like that.
I like Cookie.
Cookie.
Because
Cookie?
it's a little bit demasculating too.
Yeah. It's a little bit of an insult.
It's a little bit of an insult. And if anybody knows me and knows how hard I roll,
We don't
sometimes
insult each other.
We don't. I mean. So, but yeah, I'm more excited that it can kind of become almost its own little aside or little series.
Yeah.
In the season.
Right.
And that's what those vlogs are really gonna.
Yeah. Of the debauchery that can go on between a bunch of dudes away from their women, out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, the things that
The PG version of it.
the PG version of it, because there's no PG version to what actually goes on. The smells are going to be unbelievably horrible. That's the one thing I'm
How
afraid
many
of.
vents are in this thing?
Yeah. Do the windows open?
You just drop the back door.
Don't worry, I'll buy a case of Febreze.
Just drop it.
Just spray it on.
Yeah, per trip.
So let's go away from the nasty and go back to the fun stuff. What do you want to give away tonight, Mike? I think we should have people post their favorite recipes in the comment.
Favorite recipes for what? Out on the ice in the hard house.
Something to
That
do.
is what we
Ooh, there
need,
you go.
people.
We
Like,
do need
we are
recipes.
going to be spending like literally probably 12 plus weeks in this ice house.
Right.
We need recipes, like easy recipes done in the ice house. Crock pot. Oh, I will definitely
You're-
have a crock pot. in
Yeah,
that
you're a
ice
crock
house.
pot guy.
We will
I
also
love the
accept
crock
your
pot.
camper recipes.
Camper.
Because it's very similar. Not everybody's spending a lot of time out in their permanent houses, but a lot of people do camp. So we'll take camper recipes.
Okay, so it's
And
got to
ice
be
fishing.
easy. Have you seen my camper?
Have you seen my camper?
Yeah, but
It's like a normal kitchen.
right.
Yeah, same.
An ice house does not
But
have.
but
a
how
normal
how
kitchen.
often are you using the normal kitchen in it versus your pellet grill or
Thor,
your smoker?
I am married.
All right.
Every meal we use the normal kitchen at some way, shape,
All right.
or form.
Okay. The recipes.
I'm on the other side of that. I get his question.
We pellet grill and Blackstone every meal, but part of that meal is made
it's
in the
prepared.
kitchen.
You're
Okay,
right.
give
You're
it-
right.
give
It's
us
prepared
the-
in there. Yep. Okay.
all the men that are listening to this, which I assume is 95% of people listening,
You see Jim lately?
Handsome.
98% of the men.
Yeah, you just lost 3% of the women when you brought me up.
Give us the part of the recipe, the part of the dinner that you cook. Not the part that your wives are doing inside. Give us what part are you doing, your favorite recipe, so we can figure out how to do it on the ice.
And I guarantee that half the answers are going to be frozen pizza.
Well, those people won't win the free prize then.
Shannon might even text in frozen pizza.
I mean, it's a staple, but we can't live off of frozen pizza for 12 weeks, Jim.
We can't.
And again, I mean,
We could, but we
I mean,
don't
the
want
Jack's
to.
pizzas are.
I mean, it's 4 for $10.
Then you can get like 3 different flavors in
I
each.
think if you went for Roma's,
There's a
it's
party
10
pack.
for $11.
yeah, but you need to eat 3 of them.
Yeah.
Can you
Does it
imagine?
really need to eat 3?
That's like every part of the food pyramid too in a Jack's pizza, isn't it? I mean, you hit them all
you got
right
dairy,
there.
you got meat. You get bread.
See,
This
we're
is
healthy.
sugar.
This
We're
is
healthy
going
too.
down a
Oh,
rabbit
it's
hole.
terrible.
What do we want to give away? What do they win with their recipe?
Ooh, with the recipe.
Yep.
How about some Runnings rod sleeves?
Runnings rod sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's picking the winner?
You are.
We just talked about how I don't cook. How am I going to look at a recipe and be like, that's the best one? I'm going to pick the guy that says frozen pizza.
Because you're gonna not. You might pick the guy that says frozen pizza.
This is not going to be a random pick for everybody. So post your best recipe, and Mike and I'll figure out.
I'll pick it.
We'll go with Mike's favorite recipe wins some Runnings rod sleeves.
Yeah, but back to this thing. So we're actually literally going to be pulling this thing all over the upper Midwest.
Yep.
Staying in random spots, filming everything. You know, it's going to be a lot like what we did with the National Walleye Tour, following everything and doing everything that we did, except we're going to be staying in an ice house and showing how cool. I mean, especially in today's day and age, you know, I mean, with the COVID era, we're trying to do something different that it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are thinking about the stinks and everything like that. I'm thinking about how happy my wife is going to be that I'm going to have to learn how to play cards.
Pinochle?
I don't know how to play any card games, Jim. Blackjack?
As somebody that loves
Slapjack?
I can deal.
I can play a mean game of slapjack.
We might have to play war because we're going to be in this thing for most of the night.
You're not going to have enough cards to continuously play war. Somebody's going to get very angry and just throw them. That's how.
Do you remember I used to deal blackjack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have cartons of cards.
Not saying we're going to gamble on this stuff, but poker.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing cards.
Gamble fishing rods.
Yeah.
Be fun.
The right answer is playing Pinochle.
Pinocle's the right answer.
How do you play Pinochle?
It's
I don't
amazing.
even start going and get into it. My wife looks at me and she is so mad at me. I don't even try to play cards. And she's going to be mad when she listens to this because she's going to be like, I can't get you to play cards, but traveling around in an ice house is going to get you to play cards. Well, I'm sorry, honey. We're going to have a lot of time at a small table because there isn't going to be restaurants open. And we're going to live it up. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, plus we just ate spine meat on the grill on the Blackstone.
Why wouldn't we?
Why do we need to go to a restaurant?
Right.
It's gonna be there's a game that Shannon and I play.
You know what?
It's called Hand and Foot.
Ooh. Hand and
it's-
foot is confused. I haven't played in a long time, but I had a lot of fun playing.
Yeah, it's not that confusing. It's more once you get the rules down.
Yep.
Pinochle can be confusing because there's bidding and all this other garbage, and that's going to be a really hard one to play, and it would take all season to teach you how to play it, and we would be off the staff by the end of it because you would be so mad at us that you'd kick us off.
Yeah, Pinocle's tough because you get your groups of
Your
people that
groups of
play,
people,
and they learn how other people play,
Yeah.
and it would take the whole season.
It would.
You're right.
But Hand and Foot is basically canasta, and it's a long game. You know, it's a seven round game.
Something
Something
I
like
haven't
that.
played it in almost 15 years.
Every
It's been
time,
a long time.
every time we play it, we have to look up the rules. But
Yeah.
and we play it probably 8-10 times a winter when cold Saturday nights or whatever. We don't feel like going anywhere. Well, let's bring out the cards. Before you know it, we're 2 games in. And it's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's a long form game, and it's actually really easy to learn and a lot of fun. And I think that'd be the nice one to bring along. I mean, you need an extra deck of cards for every person that plays. But
So I think before we get to traveling this thing, we actually probably do need a little help from people out there. I mean, we've done the hard house thing, but we've never really stayed in it consistently. So I would like to see modifications people have done to their hard houses, whether it's the TVs or the rod holders or luggage or different things that they've done to make it
Right.
friendly. Because I mean, as awesome as this house is, we're still gonna have to make our little mods and that kind of stuff, and we'll do that
Right.
probably via the camera showing us. We'll mod it up with everybody, but I'd love to get your ideas, and I think we got some catch cover stuff that we can give away to the person that has the best mod.
Okay.
Send us those mods that you do, customize your house. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be part of the fun. Getting it here, back it into the shop, we're going to have a TV.
duh.
Duh.
How do we want them to send us those pictures? Should we do that on an email at info at fishAddictions.com?
Well, it would be fun to get the description of what they do and what works for them, because we are gonna, guys. We spent a lot of time in ice houses, but it's been 3-4 days at a time.
Right.
So I know there's a ton of guys that spend a lot of time in their ice houses, whether it's summer or winter. I mean, even as simple as like an outside carpet or something that you put down.
Yeah.
Where you could get the boots off and all that kind of stuff, like just different things that have worked for you. Even as simple as like a cooler that is easy in and out, or even blankets. Like,
right.
Have you found something that compacts really easily and is comfortable still? And even, like I know some guys do stuff to their heaters, and it gets 50 below, you're going to have issues with your heater. There's guys that have little mods that plug a heater in or something like that. Like, I'm just really interested in all that kind of stuff, because I'm not new to this, but this is going to be new in general, because we are literally, if anybody knows us, and especially myself, we're gone doing the fish addiction stuff all the time. So when I say we're living in this, I'm going to be in that ice house more than I'm going to be in my own bed.
I would bet a minimum of 75 nights.
I hope you're wrong.
You're going to need a body pillow to snuggle.
Or we could add Laura to the staff.
Isn't she automatically part of it?
I don't know.
Will she be there?
She want a bio on the website?
We should ask her. She probably wouldn't want to be involved in it at all.
We're getting back to the stink talk.
The stink talk. Yep. She'd be out on the smells.
But we're going to be traveling all over. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited and I'm nervous, and I know we can pull it off because we are a group of guys that just go with the flow. We know everything's not going to go right. There's going to be probably flat tires. There's probably going to be sunflower heaters that need to happen once in a while. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
I'm going to be interested to see if you can slow down enough to be in a permanent ice house. Because without the hotel reservation hanging over your head, I could see you getting off the ice and saying, hey, I heard that there's a good bite 12 hours from here. What if we just leave now?
Well, that's the whole point of this.
And then all of a sudden you're going to go like 9 days without sleeping.
No, I'm a sleep Nazi.
Yeah, but when the fish are biting, you're going to...
old, man. Like, I will definitely drive through the night. You put me in the right mood, I'll drive through the night. I can remember coming back from, where were we coming back when Aaron's like, we need to stop. And he's like, we need to get home. And then he's like, we need to stop. And I'm like, we aren't stopping.
That was Saginaw.
Saginaw Bay.
We
are not stopping. We are going.
We went through that lake effect stuff.
The lake effect stuff, yeah. We ended up, it was everything Mike could do to slow down to 40, and he was still going too fast, but stopping wasn't an option because Aaron needed to get home.
Yeah.
And then he didn't want to get home.
And they didn't want to get home, but he had to get home, but you couldn't go fast enough, but you had to go too slow. And we got, what's that, 28-foot trailer behind us full of snowcats and stuff, and that was a trip.
As long as you kept the foot on the gas and going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think the first time we stopped, I opted to switch seats and move to the back so I could throw a pillow up against the window and check out of that conversation.
That was one.
Just sleep through the jackknife as we go down the road, or what?
If I'm not awake for it, it didn't happen.
Honestly, were you guys nervous?
I wasn't nervous. I was more tired of the complaining.
We did break the tires at least like once or twice, and I think that's what freaked Aaron out a little bit.
Oh yeah, because he was in the back seat like Chuck, like chattering, and I'm just like, you wanted to get home, we're going home.
Yeah, I was in the front seat for that portion of it. I think we stopped to eat, and I hopped straight into the back. Aaron, you got front. That's you.
Yeah, you remember that? We stopped at Subway, and that girl had just cleaned the whole place, and we had just muddy boots and stuff. But we helped her clean it up.
I grabbed a mop because I got in there first and ordered, and while she was making my stuff, I went and grabbed that mop,
remopped the whole
and
floor.
remopped the entire store for her. I'm a nice guy sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I say a lot of stupid things throughout the day, and I'm not really nice to anybody.
Jim has a heart.
You make up for it with your kindness.
I make up for it with kindness to strangers.
The kindness in your heart.
So if you guys could pick one destination that you want to go to this year, you had to have thought about it.
Yeah, what's that ridiculous one out west? Way out west.
Cascade for perch?
Nope, the other one.
Fort Peck for lake trout.
Lake trout.
I would really like to go to Fort Peck.
I actually talked to my next door neighbor about, he builds custom rods, and I asked him to build me a broom handle for trout.
Nice.
And I don't know if he's done it yet or not because I've talked to him since. And he's been out. I think he's been trying to stab and shoot just about anything that he had. I think they had like 7 tags between him and his brother. But I don't think he's gotten around to it yet.
Yeah.
But
he's got a little time.
I
doubt Fort Peck is froze over yet.
I doubt it is too. But
that's not going to be our first stop on Fish Addictions TV.
But since I've missed out on the Canada stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to take a swing at that, and I think a custom made broom handle would be perfect
you got
for
a
those
guy
giant
right
fish.
Here that would jump in. I think after last year's Canada trip, he's hooked. Lake trout.
Yeah.
Aside from the 40 below and nothing but slush, I think he had a great time.
Yeah.
Sounded like it anyways.
Yeah. Oh, it made up for it. Totally. I mean, the first day was slush mania.
Oh, that was rough.
And then, you don't realize how bad the slush is until you fall into it.
Right.
And then you have 17 layers of clothes on, and then you're wet from sweat, and then you're frozen solid by the time you drive to your next spot, and then you hit another slush pocket. But the fishing was good, so yeah, like I said, it definitely made up for all of it. And the lake trout we caught were so much fun.
Yeah,
so
good fishing will make up for just about any kind of disaster you can have outside of falling in.
That Fort Peck thing would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but without saying Fort Peck, where would you like to go? You've thought about this for years. You had.
Just for lake trout?
No, just for an episode this year.
Where would I like to go? A lot of places.
Wrong answer.
Well, which one would be the one that you want to go to the most?
Hey, just say Cascade on the way to Fort Peck.
Fort Peck's on the way to Cascade.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What are you talking about? We're in a 24-foot toy hauler.
Everything's
on the way.
The map says to go to Fort Peck first.
Yeah, whatever.
But it's only a 20-hour drive to get to Lake Cascade through Fort Peck.
Oh, okay. I'm
so
an idiot.
you just take 3 weeks and you drive out, fish Fort Peck for 4 or 5 days. You drive the rest of the way to Cascade.
I would love to go to Cascade. And
fish there for
We're
fish
pulling
there
the
for 4 or
trailer,
5
man.
days.
We might make it there.
I'm
It's
so
only
curious.
1,200
Where do I want to go?
Where do you want to go? I don't know. I'm asking.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, yeah, but
I
you're
thought there
gonna
was like
stop
some
and fish
place
for
in
4
mind
days
where like
halfway
I've been
through.
talking about it forever.
No.
Okay. I mean, honestly, would be to go back. I mean, right back to a Cusco. That was awesome.
It's not an option.
Not an option.
I know. If it wasn't a COVID.
So would you say
Everybody
Saginaw
knows
again or Erie?
Oh god.
Yeah, Erie's yours. Erie would be a ball.
Is it gonna ice this year? If it does, we have a toy hauler and beds.
There is no stopping us. Like we're just going. We have hotel rooms booked already.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to go to Skakawea.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a lot. We've never quite made it out there. Every time we're gonna, something happens. We've planned it a couple times. It just never happens. I'd like to do giant pike on Skakawea.
Yeah. I talked to little homie last night about that. We got into the Skakawea talk a little bit. And he's all about us coming out there and hanging out for a bit. So.
Oh, yeah. We'll go out there.
Yeah.
We'll park it in his driveway. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, by the time we get back, he'll have it sold.
Because it does look like it's getting more difficult to camp in Walmart parking lots.
What do they say for the rules?
Well, it's on an individual manager's decision, store by store. So we dropped from 78% of Walmart's allowing it down to about 58%.
What if we had them cool signs, the cardboard signs that you could flip around like those kids with the hand things?
We talking?
And it says
sign
something
twirling?
cool.
That's like an art.
Yeah.
I've known a few people.
All right, enough. Sign twirling?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about now?
Maybe they'll let us stay.
Yeah.
All right, Taylor, give us a lake. I said Erie.
You know how the ideas run through my head in every different place. Jim knows especially. We travel to some places we maybe shouldn't.
Yeah, we zero.
But
more.
it's the experience.
We zero plenty.
It's the friendship.
But
We
it's
limit
fun-
out
it's
on
fun.
friendship.
We
you
limit
know?
out on friendship.
You know.
It's fishing. Yeah. But big ideas turn into zeros in about half a day.
Yeah.
And 300 holes later.
I mean, there isn't a whole lot of lake trout destinations, so that's what like my brain is stuck on that right now. But
Stuck on Lakers?
yeah. But I mean, there's so many different.
What about the Dirty 30? Where would you want to go catch a Dirty 30?
Fort Peck has that, too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're gonna do Fort Peck, you have to film for a week
I mean, Fort Peck or Erie, that would be the
At
two.
least.
You know,
because it's
highest probability.
giant perch, giant pike, giant walleyes, giant lake trout.
Over under all of us come out friends in the end of this. For
it's
sure,
like
we're coming out friends.
It's like 12% after like a month later. Get over it, and then come back right to it.
I'm more worried about you guys being too good of friends.
Probably.
There'll definitely be a second and third language. There will be, for sure.
By the time we're done, we're going to be speaking another language to each other that only we understand.
Yeah. Come up with new slang words and stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to switch gears. We're going to get serious for a second. First ice safety. Everybody needs to talk about it. Everybody needs to hear it. And there's guys rolling your eyes. Well, go ahead and roll your eyes. But when you fall through, you're going to be glad you heard some stuff about it. So we've done ice safety videos. We've talked about ice safety. But it is probably the most important thing to drill into people's heads as the ice season gets kicked off with Red Lake, with different small bodies of water getting froze over. There's reports of Lake of the Woods being totally iced over, whether it is or not. I've seen some satellite pictures. It looks like there's maybe a little water out there yet, but for the most part, she's capped over.
I saw they were going to start allowing walkouts.
And things are going to go on Lake of the Woods. Wow. And things are going to go fast. So, we've beat this with a dead horse, where we beat this down. But I don't think it can be said enough.
Ice is safe ice.
What?
We beat a dead horse. We haven't beat it with a dead horse. That would be hard.
It'd be impressive.
We beat.
that would be impressive.
It'd be some Godfather stuff.
All right,
anyway.
Ice safety. First off, I'm going to start. I'm going to go through things that I like to bring along ice safety. You guys add where you need, and different tips that I think people should consider. No, there is no dumb idea for ice safety. From wearing a float suit. If you don't have a float suit, wear a life jacket.
Am I the only one here that's gone through with a float suit on?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I went through, but I only went to like my waist.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
How you feel the suit pick you back up.
Yeah.
It really is. I even watched another video yesterday. Dave Lefebvre did one.
Okay.
And
through the ice?
Yeah, and he almost he fell through and floated up so high that he came like almost to his waist again. Like the suit bounced him out of the water. It was pretty wild.
But when I think about ice safety, we'll get back on topic here. When I think about ice safety, I think ice picks, float suit,
cleats.
Cleats are one. I mean, I am bad for cleats, and I slip on the ice more than anybody. Taylor always makes fun of me. Like, if there's an ice patch, Mike's gonna slip on it.
I'm notorious for getting them too.
Yeah.
But then you have that one like really bad one, and you're like, okay, I'm not forgetting my cleats ever again. But we get used to like walking on the snow, after the first couple weeks of ice, and then it snows. So then you don't need cleats, and you don't even think about it when you're preparing for a trip. But yeah, like early ice cleats for sure.
Ice cleats are really good. Ice pick, bang in the ice. I mean, a lot now, especially like with the pistol and that kind of stuff. I think you can probably, I don't want to say leave that behind, but you can drill a hole every few feet or few yards. Although I think the ice pick is probably better option. People do just walk and drill. At least with the ice pick, you can get in front of yourself a little bit and check ice depth. You got to figure out how many hits it takes for you. For me, I think it's 3 hits, and if I'm not through in 3, I'm good.
Yep.
For my personal, again, if you don't have a float suit, which not everybody does, a life jacket will suffice. But I think the most important stuff is definitely a buddy and a float and picks. I think those are by far the most important. And the one thing that you hear all the time is, well, I saw people out on the lake. I just saw people out there already, so I just walked out. Nobody else can tell you it's safe. You need to determine its safety, especially in the first few weeks, up to a month. And please do that, because it's not fun to hear about people falling through and worse, dying. And we've had a lot of that over the last 3 years, a lot more than any of us would like to admit. And a lot of it could have been, I think, prevented, and that's sad. But you guys got anything to add to ice safety? Ice safety, I think, is one of the most important things, important topics to talk about at this time. Limit yourself to what you take out. You don't need to bring everything.
That's exactly what I was going to say. As light as you possibly can go.
Yeah.
And to touch back on the, just because that guy's out there fishing, even like a lot of us are guilty of that too with the social media thing too, where it's, oh yeah, I was out there, or yeah, this guy was out there the other day. You still need to check it. Yep.
Yeah, if you haven't witnessed it for yourself, don't trust the fact that you see somebody out there.
And just because there's holes there too, like already drilled, like pre-drilled holes. I mean, that could your ice could change in a week or even days at this this time of year. It can go from 4 inches ice to 2 inches ice. Yep. So.
And if you're on a big body of water, pay attention to wind, because you don't know what's on the other side of the lake. It might open up 20, 30 feet, and then you're like, hey, I don't have a boat now.
Well, there's certain lakes that people are fishing now that got 6, 7 inches within a couple hundred yards of shore, but the rest of the lake is wide open.
Yeah.
That's
sketchy.
It is sketchy. It really is. And
I'm just not that mad at the fish. I love ice fishing. Yep. I love fishing. I love being out there. We used to, amongst each other, we used to go different directions and check ice, and we were always like, yeah, let's go, let's get out there. I mean, this guy here, he needs to scratch the itch right away, which is fine. He does it safely, but us old guys, we just kind of lay back a little bit, lay in the weeds, and let them check things out, and then we get out there.
Well, I like the pack light thing too that you said.
Yeah.
Like, I don't bring my whole rod case. I bring one rod. Mm-hmm. Either the chisel or we have the K drills, the pistols, the light flights. It's how light is that? They're only 6-8 pounds. Well, yeah, the drill is what 12 or something like that. But you cut down a lot of weight, not bringing the old Model 30 out, and that's a lot of weight on you too. So they've definitely made strides there to lower the weight, but yeah, do it yourself too, and don't bring as much. You don't need to pack a whole camper full of stuff out there.
Right. It's probably not that cold either, so if you're fishing alone, you probably don't need to bring your big tub house out with you that weighs
heater, all that.
Pop-up options in a sled that you're pulling with. It's not a bad thing to pull a sled with you. Tie it to yourself, and I mean, it could help in the end, but I think as I get older, I enjoy sitting in the deer stand a little bit more than early ice. So I really just kind of like sitting there and enjoying nature.
Yep, that was 100% what I was just about to say, is that I think that there's a few of us that would rather try and run a deer than run a walleye right now.
Sorry.
We got all winter to run walleyes. We only get a couple weeks to do these deer things.
Right.
But the fish are so active right now, Jim.
I know they are. They'll be active.
They're hungry.
I know they'll be active next week too.
Well,
those dang 1.5-inch perch were sure hungry.
They start to dwindle down a little bit when you get into the January, February doldrums. Right now, they're hungry. There was not a lot of hesitation there. But
on your 2-inch perch.
Yeah. But there were some decent gills mixed in, so you can't give me too much guff.
No. I can't say that I was not a tiny bit jealous when I saw your video of you picking up a nice gill and throwing it back.
Yeah.
I was definitely a tiny bit jealous.
I didn't want to make anybody jealous.
Then I walked outside this morning with no coat on. I was like, ugh, I'm not ready for this quite yet. I'm sitting in a heated deer stand. Oh, gosh. Are you guys excited about anything else for this season? Like, what are you guys most looking forward to?
The biggest thing I'm looking forward to is playing with the live scope.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I want to learn that. I want to see how much more productive it is for me. How many more fish I can bring up. Some of the stuff that we, standardly fish.
I think part of the fun of the live scope is understanding it better all the time. Every time you look at it, you can understand it a little bit better.
Yep.
And it's simple enough for anybody to grab it, put it down, and understand what they see, but it's detailed enough that the more you look at it, the more you understand it. Like what I mean is, you can set it down and understand that's a fish swimming, that's your jig, and understand some of the things. But then as you look at it and you stare at it more, you understand the fish's mood. You understand, like, oh, that's a log and it's right on the other side of the log, or you just understand what you're seeing so much more, and you can understand the fish so much more once you get more. And we've gotten a chance to use it a lot over the last 2 years, and I struggled with it in a boat, and so my goal this year was to really understand it in a boat situation, and that really helped me understand it overall a lot better. So I'm excited to take everything I learned this open water season and bring it to the ice and really be able to educate people on the use of the... I think we're just really breaking the ice on what this thing is capable of. And especially now with the perspective view added into it, especially for that 15 feet and under, like basing crappies and that kind of stuff, like, dang. I'm excited to get it out there and use it.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to when we're out walleye fishing. Is that fish being lethargic? Did it just happen to swim by and I marked it? You know, like the standard sonar, you see it. Did it just happen to swim by within 2 feet of my bait?
Yeah.
Did it react? Did it swing and miss hardcore?
Oh,
and did it leave? Did it?
What you're not ready for, Jim, is the emotional roller coaster you are about to go on this year.
I kind of endeared it a little bit last year with the Panoptics last spring because I actually got to see some of the swings and misses because I rarely would use it with walleye fishing because
it's the fish that are 15 feet away from you and you are doing everything
you can't
to get that attention and they just like.
That's like grunting at that.
What did I do wrong?
Yeah, the last 2 weeks you're grunting at a buck. The last 2 weeks you're grunting at a buck that just won't pay attention to you because that doe's over there and she's hot.
It is unbelievable. Like, be ready. Like, trout fishing. Like, I'm in my own hut by myself, and I am like yelling at the fish, like, "What am I doing wrong?" Like, these guys around me must have been like, "What is going on over there? Like, is he having an emotional breakdown?" I mean, because it's
he
like,
didn't bring his wife with.
I mean, think about that. You see every move that fish is making.
Right.
Like, if you pull up and it's coming at you, like, that's probably the biggest thing you're going to have to get used to as a new user of LiveScope is the fact that you'll be bringing it up, and you're almost setting the hook based on what you're seeing on the LiveScope, which, you know, obviously when they get to about this far, they look like they got it. But you have to train yourself to wait to feel it because you're looking, you're concentrating so much. I've taught myself to, like, if I think, okay, it's committed, boom, I'm to my rod now and I'm 100% focused on my rod, where that is tough. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the complete rejection that you understand, that you can see now, is so tough.
See, and that's the only thing I really have to compare to that. It's been a long time
since I've been in the dating world. I
didn't deal with it well back then either.
No.
The only thing I really have to compare to it is when we sight fished Saginaw, and how badass
to see how they react.
Yeah, to watch everything about it, how they were swimming around us like sharks.
Yeah, but think about it now. Now they're 60, 80 feet out, and you see them coming.
Right, and that's just it. You know, I mean, we could see, 15 feet each way or whatever.
If we could have a microphone in my head when I'm watching that stuff happen, like you're doing what you're doing, watching it. Oh, there's fish coming. And all of a sudden, naturally, what happens when you see something? You speed up a little bit. You're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And all of a sudden it's like, damn it, Mike. What you were doing got their attention. Slow down. And it's like, no. And then they're gone. So those people that say that Panoptics LiveScope catches fish for you, no, you still got to catch them. It is by far the most superior tool on the ice in the boat, but you still have to catch these fish.
And I'm pumped to have a winter of heartbreak then. I'm excited for it. That's what I'm looking forward to.
For you,
yeah,
because I'm still going to be going through those emotional roller coasters with you, right alongside of you.
I like it.
I'm excited.
I like it.
This year's LiveScope too, because all you've done is repeat Jim all night.
Oh no,
I forgot that stemmed from a question.
Yeah, we were just kind of going back and forth with their eyes, like, oh, this is getting serious.
I forgot that stemmed from what are you the most excited about?
We got into it, Thor.
Yeah.
Mine's still just the kind of the thrill of, ice fishing, searching something, trying to figure it out, capitalizing on it, and having that success, I guess, when it comes to ice fishing. To me, it's always like searching for the next.
And you know what I think is going to be so cool about what we're doing this year with the Ice House is we're going to show a lot of failure because we're going to go and we're going to do this. We are literally going to park at a lake. Boom, we're going here. It's not going to be Lake of the Woods. Will we go to Lake of the Woods? You dang right we're going to Lake of the Woods. Are we going to film it? I don't know, but we're going.
We're going.
Devil's Lake. It's going to be some lake that Taylor picks because he picks the weirdest things on the weirdest places of a netting report from 30 years ago, but we're going to go. We're going to drill holes.
You're going to end up spearing so many pike this winter.
I think him and I just had a conversation about that.
Listen.
Maybe it was this morning. Maybe
We're
it was
going to
last
spear
night.
pike. And we're going to spear pike because a decision that was made today is going to allow us to go spear pike.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for that, actually.
And
that's what I should be excited for. We're going to spear pike this year, huh?
We're going to spear pike.
Yes.
I think we should go to Iowa and spear muskies. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We can go to Wisconsin and
If
spear
you
sturgeon.
do it,
Yeah, we can make
Oh,
make
for
a whole
sure,
trip on it.
spear and sturgeon. Justin Snyder, who is part of the Warrior Pro staff, is his family. It's like a tradition for them, and he has invited me to go spear sturgeon. So, Justin, I am going to take you up on that offer. So, make a spot in your driveway for the ice house,
Or your yard. Either one's fine.
yeah, wherever. It don't matter. You know what? Everybody always is just a given, but what I'm most excited for, I mean, all that stuff is, I'm excited about everything, but the fact that we're all going to be, because we haven't really done a lot of stuff together as a group over the summer with everything going on, but we're going to get together again and just be fish addictions.
Right.
The camaraderie is going to be on a higher level than it's ever been. It has to be. I can't imagine the pranks we're going to play on each other because I've already been thinking about that, boys. So sleep at night. Sleep. Get your sleep while you can. And by the way, I don't take pranks to me in my sleep very well.
Yeah,
I
no,
just want to put that back at you.
Yeah. I throw rights.
I am a heck of a guy to do the pranks, but I hate them done to me.
Same. And I'm vicious. I'm vindictive.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if we're going to start that, you got to be able to play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I will, but not gracefully. I will take it. If I have done it, I will take it, but not gracefully. Like, I will be mad at you for an hour or two. You just have to let it happen. But I've also understand I got to get over it.
Well, as camp cook, you don't get breakfast if you're mad.
And if you piss off the camp cook, then he gets breakfast and nobody else does.
Oh, I'll get breakfast for 2. I'll get breakfast for 3.
However many people were staying in the house and
I'll
didn't
eat
stop
it
the
all.
prank.
I'll eat it all. I'm not even scared. Bacon. I'll eat the whole thing.
I know you will. Did
I
you
ain't-
once
I
buy
ain't
like
scared.
80 packages of bacon at
Not
the grocery store?
Not once. I've done that multiple times.
Not
I was
once.
going to say, Mike, that's like weekly.
Not once. and
Grocery
not
store's
80.
got a deal on bacon, and we all get a text like,
It's always Sam's Club, isn't it?
Hugo's. They did.
Oh, it is Hugo's.
Yeah, they did. What was it? 2 for $5 for Black Label or Mel thick cut stuff or whatever. There's a spot in Foston that did a sale. It was a 3-pound pack for $8 or something. Literally bought the store up. The kid that was packaging it was so mad at me. He was bringing out like a fresh 12.
Vlogs on just his bacon obsession.
It freezes well. I cut it up. I package it.
Whoa, you cut it up?
Well, like those 3-pound packages.
Cut it in half?
I'll cut it in half and then individually do it. And
Make it so
goes
that
in the
it's a
freezer.
usable amount each time you thaw it.
Correct.
And it's turkey bacon, right?
100% turkey bacon. I mean, everything about me screams health and fitness. So I try and go as sodium free as possible. No fat. But yeah, no, it's been a pretty successful run over the last 4 years of bacon purchasing.
Yeah.
I'm money ahead.
I'm so proud of you. But
Although
in
it costs me a freezer.
in all seriousness, if you come across a good bacon deal between now and the first of the year, let me know because I'm gonna have to purchase bacon for the ice house.
I got you.
Do you think we can put like a mini chest freezer in the ice house? We're gonna have to.
Would we need to even plug it in?
That'll suck a lot of juice.
Yeah, you have to, because that's actually something that we will have to figure out is how to keep stuff from freezing.
Right.
So they make
It's called heat, Thor.
yeah. So the back of your pickup is not heated.
Well, that's good. It'll keep it frozen until we want to use it. Then we'll have to actually meal plan, which won't go over very well, but we'll figure it out. We'll cook frozen steaks.
Yeah. It's the frozen bread that's gonna suck.
I can just see this all happening. Like in my head, these episodes are like coming out, and people. It is gonna be a really fun ride for everybody to watch us struggle.
Yeah.
I've never camped in the winter, and that's what this sounds like.
Yeah, I'm a newbie to the Hard House game.
Yeah.
Like staying
We're not,
multiple
we
nights.
are. We're winter camping all year long.
We just have actual walls.
You're a professional camper in the summer.
Well, yeah, but it's more.
Are you bringing bags?
It's
or
more
what?
glamping than anything. I could bring bags. I have 2 sets.
You have to bring them.
Yeah,
I actually have a fish addiction set.
He does.
You know, one year, and I had a permanent ice house for a while. I actually kept a snowblower in it.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Blow out around it and stuff. If you get
blow out around it, bank it in, or if you're like got high banks, you could just snow blow it out real quick.
Right.
It wasn't ever fun to do, but did it.
What about lawn darts? Did you get some lawn darts going? Bocce ball? Badminton?
Bocce ball in the snow.
Are we doing yard games?
A lot of those games don't play well out in the snow, though.
Bags
But they'd be a lot more fun in the snow, I feel like.
And bags gets us out of that
ice house.
out of the ice house
We're
and
gonna
out of
need that.
everybody's space.
Lawn darts.
It also
gets you out, and there's the added
Yeah.
fun/risk of getting stabbed.
That's where I'm going with the lawn
Not
darts.
happening. I'll play cards before I play lawn darts. Going on the record right now.
I almost killed my uncle playing lawn darts. That was wild.
Murder.
One got away from me. Yeah, let's not play lawn darts.
Let's not
Yeah,
play lawn darts.
no lawn darts.
I'm still trying to play lawn darts with deer right now, actually.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
It's not going my way.
Well, boys, I think we should wrap this up, but I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah.
This is what this is going to be about. Just
This is fun.
I know there's going to be people listening to this and being like, what did I just listen to? But I know there's going to be people that listen to this are like, I could sit in on that.
Yeah.
I could sit in on that. And that's what we're trying to do, really. We maybe didn't educate you too much. We tried a little bit, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to try to do this fairly consistently. Obviously, with travel and everything like that, we're going to do the best that we can. But this is the Real Talk with Fish Addictions.
So before we cut it off, again, comment your favorite recipe down below for in the fish house.
And the most important,
yep,
tell us your modifications to your permanent ice houses that you make so it's more comfortable.
Yep.
Because we're going to be living in this thing.
And if you want to send us pictures of those modifications, send us an email at info@fishaddictions.com. And again, you can follow us on all social medias at Fish Addictions. That's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And if Jim and Taylor would like to plug their own social media, because they get out fishing just as well, obviously as much as we do.
I'm just Jim Richter Facebook. I don't know what you would even call it.
You don't know what your Instagram tag is
No.
anymore?
No. This might be the first time I've ever told anybody to go check out my Insta.
Well,
you probably have a better chance of figuring out what my Insta is than I do.
Anyways, it's
your stuff's all the
JR,
same.
it's
Yeah,
J
it's
Richter,
J. Richter
or something like
42.
that.
J. Richter 42.
J. Richter 42.
that's what it always
All right.
is.
What am I?
You're Taylor Mellentino.
Is that what it is?
Are you
don't
a
know.
55 or no?
No, I think it's just my name. I don't. Where's the computer guy?
Yeah.
He's got it.
Tech guy's got it. Producer guy.
Okay.
Anyways.
Taylor, you are Taylor_Mellenthin.
There it is. It's tough. It was really tough to.
It was
That was a real brain scratcher there.
Well, guys, this is the Real Talk with Fish Addictions, and thank you for listening tonight and, listening and following along with our banter. And again, this is what we're going to be doing on every episode. We're going to have special guests on. This won't be the last you see of these two guys. We're probably going to be doing a few of these from the ice house. We're going to be, like I said, traveling all over in the ice house. It's going to be a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun. And we hope you guys enjoy this, because this is just something that we're doing to have fun. The Real Talk.
Real Talk.